Suppose f of x is equal to e power minus alpha mod x. Find its Fourier transform. Quickly. Find its Fourier transform. Speak out. E power minus alpha mod x into isx dx. Am I right? How do you do this integral? Gaussian we have done in the morning. Am I right? It's quite tricky. Look at here. Convert this one into minus infinity to 0. Minus infinity to 0. What is mod x? Mod x is minus x. Am I right? Yeah. E power alpha x e power isx dx. Okay. Plus 0 to infinity e power minus alpha. What is mod x? X. Am I right? When x is positive, 0 to infinity, mod x is x, e power isx dx. Am I right? Check it out. Multiply by? Yeah. If it is physics, it doesn't matter. Okay. I'm not taking that root 2 pi. 1 by root 2 pi. I told, including that Fourier and inverse Fourier transform, we should have 1 by 2 pi. Sometimes they will include, sometimes they will not. I'm referring gravely here, okay, right now. Now look at here. Yeah, for a time sake, let me rub it out. Yeah, 1 by root 2 pi. Usually in physics, we take that one. Yeah. Now, how do you do this one? Direct, e power alpha x plus isx divided by alpha plus is. Okay. Am I right? Or alpha plus is into x divided by alpha plus is, running from minus infinity to 0, plus write this one as e power minus alpha minus is x divided by minus of alpha minus is. Check this out. Is it okay? Take negative sign outside. Take negative sign outside. Minus alpha minus of alpha minus is. Am I right? Check it out. When you integrate, it will again you have to divide by coefficient of x. Now substitute the limit here. Upper limit e power 0. Lower limit e power minus infinity. What is e power minus infinity? 0. Lower limit 0. Only upper limit exists. So again this is equal to 1 by alpha plus is. Okay. So in this one again upper limit is 0. Am I right? E power minus infinity. Upper limit is 0. Lower limit non-zero. Negative sign will come. Am I right? Upper limit minus lower limit. That negative sign is compensated by this negative sign. Plus 1 by alpha minus is. Or substitute yourself. Okay. Later do it in little more detail. Now take LCM. It is complex conjugate. Am I right? When you multiply, what would you get? Alpha square plus s square. Alpha minus is plus alpha plus is. What is this one? 2 alpha divided by alpha square plus s square. I'll do this problem again. Okay. There are very less type of problem. Sometimes they may ask what is the Fourier transform of 1 by 1 plus x square or 1 by a square plus x square. Then what would you do? Your integral becomes minus infinity to plus infinity e power isx divided by a square plus x square. How do you do this integral? No, you have e power isx in the numerator. It's not tan. Tan inverse. It's not tan inverse. You need some other technique, okay? We shall do that one by complex analysis technique. Is that okay? Right now, we can't solve this one. Right now. But remember, if you do Fourier transform of this one, look at here. They are, Fourier transform of e power alpha mod x is this one. Am I right? So Fourier transform of again this one, that will be this one. Are you getting my point? They are, so they are inverse functions actually. Is that okay? Fourier transform of e power minus alpha mod x is this one. Fourier transform of this one will be this one. So that's why when you take Fourier transform of this one, you should get some e power something into mod s like that. Are you getting my point? Just remember like that. Later, let me give some more hint, okay? While doing complex analysis. Right now, you can't do this one. But remember, its Fourier transform should be this kind of function. Why? This Fourier transform is this kind of function. Am I right? 1 by alpha square plus s square. Just remember like that, logically. Yeah. Now I'll get into again quantum mechanics problem. Free particle. Free particle. Lot of things to learn here. Now, what do you mean by free particle? There is no force on the particle. Particle is free to move. Is that okay? There is no potential. Can I write like this? V of x equal to 0 everywhere. Is that okay? So, potential equal to 0 or force equal to 0. Is that okay? Then how do you write Schrodinger equation? Dx square is equal to E into psi. Energy cannot be negative. Why? What is the minimum value of the potential? 0. Are you getting my point? Energy cannot be negative. Energy should be positive. So now, if you solve this Schrodinger equation, d square psi by dx square, look at here, is equal to minus 2m e by h bar square psi, check it out, d square psi by dx square plus 2m e by h bar square psi is equal to 0. Okay. We write this one as d square psi by dx square plus k square, not kappa, okay. Earlier I have used the symbol kappa. Now let me use the symbol k here. K square psi equal to 0. What is k now? K square is equal to 2m e by h bar square. K square is equal to 2m e by h bar square. And then what k would be? Plus or minus root of 2m e by h bar, isn't it? Let me keep it as it is. One side. Let me solve this Schrodinger equation. What is the solution? Shall I write directly? Is that okay? D square plus k square psi equal to 0. D is equal to plus or minus ik. Am I right? Your solution is a e power ikx plus b e power minus ikx. Can I take like this? Now, from this equation, what is energy? Can you solve it for energy? H bar square k square by 2m. Am I right? There is no restriction on energy. Look at here. You solve Schrodinger equation. is done. Are you getting my point? There is no restriction. You can't proceed. You don't have any other condition. You don't have any boundary condition here. Are you getting my point? Now look at here. If you want to write time dependent wave function, what would you do? You have to switch over exponential energy part. Am I right? So then what would happen is e power I kx into e power minus I et by h bar plus b into e power minus I kx into e power minus I et by h bar. Yeah, he's saying V may be constant. Let me take that situation later, okay? First, let us discuss free particle. When V is constant, we can have energy. V may be constant also. Let me just talk about that one later, okay? While solving some other constant. Now look at here. When you see that equation, you'll get A e power I kx minus, if I substitute that e, kx minus check this out, h bar k square by 2m, isn't it? Plus b into e power minus I kx plus h bar k square by 2m into 2. Check this out. Now what I do here is, yeah, can you hear me? K e power I, let me take k outside, x minus h bar k by 2m into t plus b e power I minus, what is this one? K outside, x plus h bar k by 2m into t. Just some manipulation. K is taken outside. Now let me argue this one in electrodynamics, okay? This will represent wave traveling to the right in the positive x direction. You can see this one as x minus vt. This is a function of x minus vt. This is a function of x plus vt. Is that okay? Let me argue in electrodynamics. This kind of function will represent wave traveling to the right, I mean positive x-axis. This kind of function will represent wave traveling to the left, negative x-axis, okay? X plus vt, negative x-axis, x minus vt, positive x-axis. So that's why when you see this solution, first part will talk about wave traveling to the right, I mean positive x-axis. So second one will represent wave traveling to the left. Don't worry about this negative sign, okay? It all depends on this one, x plus vt, okay? Don't worry about this negative sign. Is it clear? First part will represent wave traveling to the right, second part represent wave traveling to the left. Now look at here. We can write the whole thing like this. We can combine these two, we can merge those two. And we can write this one as A e power I kx minus, speak out, or kx minus h bar k by 2m, no, not like this, A into e power I kx minus h bar k square by 2m into t. Wait a second. Now what I do here is, I'll run k. I'll write k as plus or minus root of 2m e by h bar. Am I right? I have written like this. When k is positive, okay, when k is positive, this is positive. You can take that k outside. When k is positive, this will happen to be this one. Is that okay? Or how to write this one? So here, what I do here is I'll put mod k in this equation. Is that okay? In this equation, I'll put mod k. Are you getting my point? Because whenever you have solved the equation, whenever you have written plus or minus ik, you are talking about positive k actually. Are you getting my point? While solving that auxiliary equation, what you have written d is equal to plus or minus ik, am I right? That k should be taken positive actually. Are you getting my point? Here k is taken positive in this equation. Now what I do here is, I'll merge these two, and now I'm not taking k as positive, I'm running k to positive as well as negative, just like here. Is that okay? When k is positive, it will happen to be like this. Is that okay? When k is negative, it will happen to be like this. Just check it out. Isn't it? When k is positive, look at here, k I'm going to write as mod k. Then what would happen? E power I mod k x minus h bar k by 2m into t, isn't it? When k is negative, let me write k as minus mod k. When k is negative here, okay? Then what would happen? E power, so this equation, what would happen? Minus I mod k, if you take outside, x plus h bar k by 2m into t. Negative sign is taken outside here. Is that okay? Now this one equation contains both of these parts. I mean wave traveling to the right as well as left. Is that okay? Now look at here, the direction of travel of wave. So that can be seen by the sign of k, am I right? If k is positive, what you can say? It will represent wave traveling to the right. Are you getting my point? If k is positive, it will be this kind of part, isn't it? If k is positive, it will be function of x minus vt kind of thing. If k is positive, is that okay? If k is negative, it will represent wave traveling to the left. Is that okay? One whole equation will represent both of those parts. Is that okay? Both of those parts. As you can see here, energy is positive. This whole quantity is real. Don't worry about that one. It can be either positive or negative. Clear? Now that is the solution. So that is the solution of Schrodinger equation. Now look at here. According to de Broglie formula, how do you write P? H by lambda. If this is a wave traveling wave, then how do you define lambda? Using k, you have to define lambda. Are you getting my point? How do you define lambda? K is equal to 2 pi by lambda. Lambda is equal to 2 pi by k. Am I right? P is equal to h by 2 pi by k. K into h by 2 pi. K into h bar. Am I right? Again, our de Broglie formula says, can I write directly? So work it out later. P is equal to h bar into k. P equal to h bar into k. Now observe one thing. If this is a function of x minus vt, are you getting my point? If you feel this as a function of x minus vt, what is v here? What is v here? Suppose a e power I k outside x minus h bar k by 2m into t. Am I right? X minus v into t. So now what is v here? H bar k by 2m. Am I right? H bar k by 2m. So we call that one as V quantum. Let me tell you, so let me differentiate this one later, okay? V quantum. Quantum mechanical wave traveling with this velocity. Can you see that one? H bar k by 2m. What is h bar k? Momentum. Am I right? Wait a second. When you see this wave function, it feels like quantum mechanical wave traveling with this velocity. But what is particle velocity? If p is momentum, what is particle velocity? P is equal to m into v. Am I right? What is velocity? Can I write v classical? Classical velocity. What is this one? P by m or h bar k by m. That v classical is twice of v quantum. Is that okay? V classical is equal to 2 times quantum, v quantum. Can you observe that one? You have to feel like it's a function of x minus vt, okay? Or if you write in terms of x minus vt, whatever here, that will play the role of velocity. Okay, let me explain in electrodynamics, electromagnetic theory. This whole thing, I mean, how this represents a wave traveling, so traveling wave and all, okay? So right now, just remember this one, this fact, okay? Either x minus vt or x plus vt, look at here. This part, it will take care of, I mean, so it will talk about velocity of the wave, isn't it? Are you getting my point? So that's why you can write velocity of a wave like this. We call that one as quantum mechanical wave velocity. Is that okay? This is a classical velocity of the particle, actual velocity of the particle, momentum by mass, isn't it? One is twice of other, just see that. Quantum mechanical wave travels half speed of the particle it is supposed to represent. That's how we see it. Can you write this one? Quantum mechanical wave function. It's a quantum mechanical wave function, am I right? Quantum mechanical wave function travels at half speed of the particle it's supposed to represent. Half speed of the particle it's supposed to represent. I mean, that wave function is supposed to represent that particle, am I right? So it travels with half of the speed of the particle, okay? Now look at here. So that's okay. So there is no restriction on energy, am I right? Look at here. What is energy? H bar square, k square by 2m. There is no restriction on energy, isn't it? Our solution is over here. Now look at here. We got one problem. Look at here. This wave function have got this energy, am I right? This wave function have got this energy. Energy of this state is this one, am I right? Now look at here. What is mod psi square? Can you normalize this one? What is the range of interest? Minus infinity to plus infinity. Isn't it? Range of interest is minus infinity to plus infinity. What is mod psi square? E power I, e power minus I will come, exponential factor goes, mod a square. Try to normalize. What is this one? Don't write 0. Minus infinity to plus infinity, dx. What is this one? Dx, 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 minus infinity to plus infinity, integrated. That's infinity. Is that okay? It is tending to infinity. It is not normalizable wave function. Are you getting my point? It is not normalizable wave function. Or if you try to plot mod psi square, if you try to plot mod psi square as a function of x, look at here, that's a constant. Mod psi square, it is not decaying to 0, look at here. It is extending to infinity. I mean, you have probability of finding the particle at infinity. Are you getting my point? Probability of finding the particle at infinity is, if it is non-zero, that means particle can escape. Are you getting my point? So this is non-normalizable wave function. It's not normalizable. Particle can be anywhere. If particle is at infinity, that means there is no particle. Isn't it? So that's why the problem comes. So that's why we will never take non-normalizable solution as physically acceptable. Non-normalizable means particle can escape from a region of interest, or particle can be nowhere. Are you getting my point? We will get into that situation here. Is it clear? Wave function is not normalizable. Wave function is not normalizable. Free particle wave function is not normalizable. If it is not normalizable, we can't have this state, am I right? Physically. If it is not normalizable, we can't have that state. What do you mean by that one? What is this state? This is the state of energy, am I right? Energy eigenstate actually. H psi equal to E psi. You can find that. Is that okay? So we say, look at here. Can you write? A free particle cannot exist in stationary state. This is the stationary state of free particle, am I right? With energy E is equal to h bar square k square by 2m, am I right? Definite energy state. Free particle cannot be in stationary state. Continue. There is no such thing as a free particle with definite energy. What do you mean by stationary state? Definite energy state, am I right? There is no such thing as a free particle with definite energy. Are you getting my point? Quantum mechanically, we can't have a free particle with a definite energy. Is that okay? That is the outcome. That is the interpretation. Is that clear? Quantum mechanically, we can't have free particle with definite energy. If it exists, its wave function will be non-normalizable. That is not physically acceptable. Is it clear? We can't have stationary state, isn't it, of free particle, or we can't have definite energy state of free particle, isn't it? But we can have linear combination state, isn't it? Earlier, so we can have stationary state also, am I right? Particle can be in stationary state also. Suppose if you take particle in the box, harmonic oscillator, anything, and particle can be in the linear combination state also, am I right? Particle can be in the linear combination state also. But here, free particle cannot be in that stationary state. There is no definite energy state. But it can be in the linear combination state, am I right? There is no such restriction. Now, while doing this linear combination, you have done summation. Why? You had discrete wave functions. Are you getting my point? Psi 1, psi 2, psi 3. But look at here, you don't have any discrete wave function here because there is no restriction on energy, k, nothing. Am I right? So what we write here is, we write psi of k here because k will represent the whole thing. Am I right? K is the quantity which will talk about everything. This is the wave function with wave vector k. Can I say like this? Or momentum k sometimes. Is it clear? Now look at here. You don't have discreteness here, just like here, to write linear combination. It's a continuous function of k, am I right? I mean, K is related to energy. Are you getting my point? You have done the linear combination of different energy state. Am I right? Psi 1, psi 2, psi 3. Different energy states. Psi 1 got energy E1, psi 2 got energy E2. So similarly, we can make linear combination of this one, but that will become continuous. That will not become summation. That will become integration. Are you getting my point? So now, you can make linear combination. You can make linear combination of them. So it is done like this. Look at here. It's just similar to this one. Linear combination state. How you have written? Summation over Cn into psi n. Am I right? Psi n are different energy state, stationary state. Am I right? Similarly, here we write our linear combination state like this in terms of integral minus infinity to plus infinity. Here, if energy changes, n changes. Am I right? N will talk about energy. Am I right? Quantum number will talk about energy. Here, K will talk about energy. Shall I say like this? Because different K means different energy. So now, I am going to write so e power I kx minus h bar k square by 2m minus h bar k square by 2m h bar k square by 2m. Is that okay? And I need coefficient. I call that coefficient as pi of k. This coefficient depends on n, am I right? N will talk about energy here. Quantum number will talk about energy. So here, k will talk about energy. And dk. Or let me just write it here, okay? Let me write it here. That's very important part. Linear combination is written in terms of integral. Again, 1 by root 2 phi, okay? Let me tell you why this comes. This is nothing but Fourier transform. Let me explain. Minus infinity to plus infinity. Look at here. Phi of k, that will play the role of this coefficient into your psi k x comma t. What is psi k x comma t? E power I kx minus h bar k square by 2m into t, summation with respect to different n, different energy. Here integration should be with respect to different k, dk. Yeah, speak out. I can add this, am I right? I can add psi of k of different k, am I right? That linear combination, that may be normalizable. This is not normalizable. This is not physically possible. Stationary state is not physically possible, but linear combination state may be, am I right? Now, how do you do that linear combination? Here, k is not discrete at all. You can't have a summation. Are you getting my point? Or you can write psi of e, okay? Psi of e, you can't have like this. Because E is continuous now. Look at here. There is no restriction on energy. So that's why this is the way of writing linear combination state. And this is normalizable actually. Are you getting my point? And this is normalizable. So there our wave function was discrete, isn't it? Our quantum number will talk about state. Here k will talk about state. Or you can write whole thing in terms of energy also. Is that okay? But we prefer, k here. Are you getting my point? Not, again, integer will never come here. Quantum number will never come here. Quantization haven't happened here. Is that okay? But, so there should be something which represent energy. That's why we take k, that's it. Integration with respect to dk. And this all thing will take care about its dimension. Is that okay? This pi of k dk, it will take care about dimension. Are you getting my point? Your Cn had no dimension actually when you write the summation. Am I right? These two will have same dimension usually. But here, rest of all, this coefficient will take care about dimension. Is that okay? Again, this is also factor of convenience. You can absorb this one to constant. Are you getting my point? This is a factor of convenience again. Wait a second. Now, psi of x comma 0, put t equal to 0, initial wave function. That's what we say. Am I right? That will become 1 by root 2 phi. Speak out. Phi of k into e power what is this one? That's Fourier transform of phi of k. Don't think about this is inverse or direct Fourier transform. Don't worry about that one. We got some physical argument. Am I right? To get into this step. Simply, I will say this is a Fourier because look at here. Phi of k e power I kx dk. Am I right? Earlier, what you had? F of x e power I sx into ds. Am I right? Like that. I think you had negative sign earlier. In pure mathematics definition, you had negative sign. Here you have positive sign. That's the only difference. We call this one also Fourier transform. Wait a second. You can call it as omega only when you write E equal to h bar omega. E equal to h bar omega is equal to h bar square k square by 2m. Okay. So cancel out one h bar. Omega will be like this. But let it be as it is. Okay. Don't define omega because we can't define any frequency here. You can call it as a wave frequency actually. You can call it as a wave frequency. Let it be like this. Now look at here. This is a Fourier transform of phi of k. Now what is phi of k? That is inverse Fourier transform, isn't it? So phi of k will be, how do you get phi of k? How did you get Cn here? By some other integral, am I right? But here that this will play the role of that multiplicative constant, this coefficient. Phi of k will play the role of coefficient. C depends on n. C depends on n. N will talk about energy. So this phi will depend on k. K will talk about energy. That's the difference. Is it clear? Now phi of k is equal to, that is inverse Fourier transform. Minus infinity to plus infinity. Psi of x comma 0 e power minus I kx dx. Now you will definitely get confusion with pure mathematics definition and physics definition. Isn't it? There it was very different. What was mathematics definition? Fourier transform of f of x into e power isx dx. Isn't it? F of x was f of s into e power minus isx ds. Am I right? Quite different here. That is pure mathematics definition. You can put 1 by root 2 phi. 1 by root 2 phi here. But here we got logical argument. Are you getting my point? So after we see that this is a Fourier transform, we found that you can get phi of k by inverse Fourier transform. Are you getting my point? Until this one we got in a flow. We got this step in a flow actually. But next one, how do you get this coefficient? By inverse Fourier transform, because we had the technique already. Isn't it? That is mathematics definition. This is physics definition. Okay. Now look at here. Again, in the next chapter, I'll come to this point. Okay. But look at here. We shall do one problem. Yeah, for free particle, your region of interest is minus infinity to plus infinity. But here, this minus infinity to plus infinity is not because of that one. Okay, it is again. You used to write Cn into psi n. Am I right? N will run from, suppose, particle in a box 1 to infinity. All possible energy state, isn't it? You have done the summation over all possible energy state as the linear combination state. Now, what is the all possible k value? Minus infinity to plus infinity. K is equal to plus or minus root of 2m e by h bar. Am I right? Energy can be anything now. Energy can be 0 to infinity. Are you getting my point? Then k will be ranging from minus infinity to plus infinity. So that is the range here, okay? K range is minus infinity to plus infinity. There is no restriction. Just like here we have done summation over different energy state, which is from 1 to infinity, all possible energy state. You have to integrate over all possible k. That's it. Find the similarity. This is exactly same as linear combination state. Speak out. Yeah, definitely. It is continuous only. It is continuous only. But complex one, but continuous. Is that okay? Wait a second. So observe one more thing. Yeah, wait a second. I'll come to this point. Let us solve one problem. We can get much more physics out of it. Now look at here. Psi of x is equal to a e power I kx. Am I right? Let me just forget about time dependent part for a time sake. Okay. Now operate p cap on this one. What is p cap? Minus I h bar d by dx, one dimension d by dx, okay, into a e power I kx. What is this one? A minus I h bar I k e power, speak out. P cap into psi of x is equal to h bar k into psi of x. What is this equation? Operator, function, constant function. What is this equation? Eigenvalue equation. Is that okay? So now this is momentum eigenstate also. We had no momentum eigenstate earlier. Look at it. Just check it out. Particle in a box. If you operate p cap, it will become cos. Sine become cos derivative, isn't it? Are you getting my point? But this is momentum eigenstate also. Observe that one and write down that observation. Is that okay? This is the momentum eigenstate. This is definite momentum state, actually. Stationary state, okay? I am talking about stationary state. This is linear combination state. I'll come to this point. Observe that stationary state of free particle, which is definite energy state, obviously. Definite energy state is called a stationary state. Not only that, that is definite momentum state also. Now look at here. We can understand uncertainty here. If you do momentum measurement, you will get h bar into k. Again, our de Broglie formula also gave the same answer. Momentum value is h bar into k. Isn't it? Now, if you find, or you could have taken psi of x comma t, okay, there is no loss, a e power I kx minus, I could have written like this also. Then also you can operate and you will get the same thing, okay. You can take this wave function also. I have taken this one for simplicity, because, yeah. Yeah, it will not exist in that state. Wait a second. It will not exist in that state. If you take that one as a state, that's a definite energy state. Free particle will never exist because it is not normalizable. Okay. So that is the conclusion. But observe that this kind of state is definite momentum state also. That's a definite energy state. As well as that's a momentum state. Just observe that one. Okay. It is never possible. We can't have free particle with this state. Is that okay? So that conclusion is over. Now, observe one more thing. This is definite momentum state. What do you mean by definite momentum state? Yeah, speak out. Any question? Momentum uncertainty is 0. Am I right? What do you mean by definite momentum state? Momentum measurement will give the same answer. Are you getting my point? Now, if sigma p equal to 0, according to uncertainty, what should happen to sigma x? So that product sigma x into sigma p, it should go to infinity, am I right? But infinity into 0, that is indeterminate. But still, if this is small, this should be very high. So that product should never be less than h bar by 2, isn't it? Now look at here, observe that. What is mod psi square? Mod s square. If you plot that mod psi square, what would you get? If you do potential measurement, what would you get? You will get minus infinity to plus infinity. Your answer ranges from minus infinity to plus infinity, whose standard deviation is infinity. Are you getting my point? If you think this one as a distribution, that is from minus infinity to plus infinity, am I right? Your measurement outcome will be wide range, so that your what you call standard deviation of the distribution, that will be infinity. That's obvious fact. That's why our particle will never exist in this state. Is that okay? Many problems will come, isn't it? This is also a problem. Why? This product becomes infinity into 0. What is infinity into 0? Indeterminate. Am I right? Yeah. It is definite momentum state also. That's why uncertainty in position became infinity. Is that okay? And it was not normalizable actually. We can't have even interpretation also, isn't it? Once if it is not normalizable, once you can't write total probability equal to 1, you can't have interpretation actually. Particle will never exist in this state, but particle can exist in this state because this is normalizable. Now, wait a second. You can write the same thing. P is equal to h bar k. Am I right? dP is equal to h bar dk. One way of writing this one is this one. What is this one? 1 by root 2 phi. Pi of k into e power If you got confusion whether to write dx or dk, again think over it. It was linear combination of different k. Are you getting my point? Yeah. So then what is pi of k? We found by inverse Fourier transform. Minus infinity to plus infinity. Speak out. Psi of x comma 0 e power minus I kx dx here. Actually, we call this one as position space wave function. We call this one as momentum space wave function. Is that okay? Now look at here. Mod psi square will represent position probability density. Are you getting my point? Or mod psi square dx is probability of finding the particle between x to x plus dx. Am I right? So similarly, mod pi of k the whole square dk, that is probability of finding its wave vector or momentum, because wave vector and momentum are related by h bar. Are you getting my point? I'll loosely speaking, I will call it ks momentum sometimes. Is that okay? This is probability of finding the particle with momentum k to k plus dk. Are you getting my point? This is of equal footage of this one. This have got equal footage of this one actually. We call this one as momentum wave function. So here, this is the now look at here. We call this one as position space wave function. We call this one as momentum space wave function. Is that okay? That position space wave function mod psi square dx. What is the interpretation? Probability of finding the position in the range from x to x plus dx. Now, momentum space wave function mod pi of k the whole square dk. What is the interpretation? Probability of finding the momentum or k ranges from k to k plus dk. Here your measurement should be momentum measurement. Here your measurement should be position measurement. Are you getting my point? This is the interpretation. Or write in sentence. Wait a second. Wait one. You can write the same thing 1 by root of 2 pi h bar. See Jatili book, okay? Jatili first chapter. I mean, you can convert that one in terms of momentum. You can write k as p by h bar, isn't it? So, phi of p e power I p by h bar into x into dp. One of the root h bar we kept here. Actually, here dk and dp are related by h bar. That root h bar will be kept here. And phi of p 1 by root of 2 pi h bar minus infinity to plus infinity psi of x comma 0 e power minus I px by h bar dx. Can you write down? These two are similar. In Griffiths, he has given like this. And this is the way of writing that one in terms of momentum. Sometimes momentum is convenient, isn't it? But let me say, loosely speaking, k as momentum, okay? Because only one universal constant is multiplied. So this is other set of the same, other way of writing the same two, equations. So here, this should be manipulated here. Actually, dk should be written as dp by h bar. Am I right? That 1 by h bar, we will keep one of the h bar here, root h bar here, other root h bar here, so that formula looks comfortable. That's it. Is that clear? Now I better to define mod pi of p whole square dp. This is the probability of finding the momentum ranges from p to p plus dp. That's more convenient, am I right? Rather than writing k, this is more convenient. Probability that our momentum measurement ranges from p to p plus dp, not position measurement, okay? Just like mod psi square dx, we'll talk about probability of position measurement will range from x to x plus dx. So this have got this kind of interpretation. We call it as momentum space wave function. This is not possible. This is not possible, but still, let me take it like this. Definite momentum state, am I right? Definite momentum state. Now, can you find this one pi of p? Wait a second. Let me just think over it. I mean, it was new idea, but if you substitute this one, yeah, maybe next chapter. Okay, I'll discuss this one. Mod psi square. Yeah, let me talk about this one later. Yeah. Now let me take one example, my example, okay? Suppose psi of x equal to constant. Constant function is not normalizable, isn't it? But if you take Fourier transform, what would you get? Any idea? Let me write pi of k, okay? This is Jetili way of writing this one. Let me continue with this one, okay? But you should remember this one also, because sometimes they may ask in momentum, okay? Yeah. What is pi of k? E power minus I kx into dx, am I right? What is this one? Any idea? This will be actually Dirac delta. I told you to note down one problem over there, isn't it? Wait a second, let me talk about this one, okay? This will be Dirac delta. If your position space, look at here, mod psi square, if it is like this, is that okay? Your momentum space, it will be Dirac delta. Dirac delta means somewhere here at k. Definite momentum state, indefinite position state. Shall I say like this? But actually, we better not talk about this one, because it is not normalizable, isn't it? Right? Better not to talk about this one. But you can see that uncertainty here. That okay, this is well-defined momentum state, ill-defined position state. Again, this is not possible because it is not normalizable. Wait a second. I'll take this problem. Example number 2.6, okay? A free particle which is initially localized in the range minus a to plus a. This problem is exactly same problem that we did in the morning on Fourier transform actually. We had one between minus 1 to plus 1 function. Do you remember? Your initial state of free particle is like this, okay? Find psi of x comma t. Find psi of x comma t. How do you write this one? Psi of x comma t? 1 by root of 2 pi integral minus infinity to plus infinity pi of k into e power I kx minus et by h bar. Am I right? This is psi x comma t for a free particle. But look at here, this is unknown. I did my point. This is unknown. Coefficient is unknown. Just recall your earlier problem of your particle in the box. Linear combination means you found that Cn, am I right? Similarly, you have to find phi of k here. To find psi of x comma t, you have to find phi of k. Is that clear? Now let us find that phi of k. Is that okay? So this is what he expected, but you should find phi of k, then it's done actually. Is that clear? Yeah, let me find phi of k. So pi of k, that's equal to, what is this one? Speak out. Minus infinity to plus infinity. Psi of x comma 0 into e power minus I kx into dx. Can you normalize this one? This is normalizable. Can you normalize this one? Later. 1 by root 2a. Check this out. Psi star into psi, integration from minus a to plus a, integration of dx from minus a to plus a 2a, yeah, 1 by root 2a. Okay, I just normalize that one. Okay, I just normalize that one. Do it later. Normalization. Now, what is your pi of k? Now you can substitute 1 by root 2 phi. Look at here. This integral become minus a to plus a. Am I right? Check it out. 1 by root of 2a, because this is non-zero only between minus a to plus a, into e power minus I kx dx. Do this integral quickly. Pi of k is equal to 1 by root 2 phi 1 by root 2a e power minus I kx divided by minus I k running from minus a to plus a. 1 by 2 root of a into phi e power minus I k a minus e power I k a divided by 2I or minus I k. Am I right? But I need 2 somewhere. 1 by 2 root of a phi multiply and divide by 2 by k. And take negative sign inside, e power I k a minus e power minus I k a. Do it later, okay? Divide by 2I. Can I write like this? Negative sign is taken inside, multiply and divide by 2. What is this one? Sin k a. So now this is sin k a divided by 1 by root a phi. Let me keep outside. Divide by k. We got same problem, am I right? In the morning. Yes, speak out. Integration with respect to dx, substitute for x, okay? Not with respect to dk, be careful. With respect to dx, okay? Sin ka by k, look at here. Now let me write this one here. This is position space wave function. What is momentum space wave function? Because we can have some interpretation. Now what I do here is I will multiply and divide by a. Root of a by pi sine of ka divided by k. That's comfortable. If you plot this one, what would you get? In the morning, I told you to plot this one. Am I right? Now look at here. Let me take 2 cases here. Now we can understand uncertainty here. Case 1. Well-defined position. How do you make well-defined position? So shrink this one. Make wave function which is non-zero only within very small region. That means a is small. Am I right? So that your psi of x comma 0, isn't it? When a is small, look at here, denominator is small. This becomes high. If you make a tends to 0, it will become Dirac delta. Isn't it? If you make a tends to 0, 1 by 0 infinity, isn't it? This will shrink to 0 at x equal to 0. That will become Dirac delta. But now you are having well-defined position. Okay, let me just say like this. Well-defined means not Dirac delta. It has some range of uncertainty. Is that okay? But little well-defined. Can I say like this? Shall I write like this? Minus a plus a. A is small. Is that okay? Psi of x comma 0. What is this height now? Height is 1 by root 2. area under the curve is 1. You can count, or you can find geometrically also. Am I right? Are you going to find? Height is 1 by root 2a. This is no mod psi square area under the curve is 1, not psi area under the curve. Okay. Yeah. Well defined position. Okay. A is small. If you make A small, what would happen to this one? Sin theta by theta when theta is small. K, if A is small, Ka is small. Either okay, Ka is small. Then what will happen to pi of K? Nearly equal to sin theta by theta when theta nearly equal to 0. Then what would happen? 1 root of A by 5. Can you plot this one? I better to plot it over there, okay? Simultaneously. If you make your psi of x comma 0 like this, I mean well defined position, isn't it? Well defined position. Look at here. What would happen to pi of k? Root of A by 5. A is small, am I right? If A is small, this whole thing is small and it is constant, am I right? It will be like this. If you try to have well-defined position, it will have ill-defined k or ill-defined momentum. I get my point. Wide range means, look at here, if you do the measurement on identically prepared system, you are getting k here, isn't it? Wide range of k, you are getting wide range of k. Ill-defined k or ill-defined momentum, and you don't have control over it. Are you getting my point? You don't have control over it. If you try to prepare a state with well-defined position, momentum will be ill-defined. Is that okay? Here, your sigma x is low, am I right? Simultaneously, corresponding momentum state happen to be like this. Sigma p is high. And you don't have control over it. Or let me take other case. Case 2, ill-defined position. What do you mean by that one? A is large. Or actually, yeah, let it be. It's approximation, okay? It's approximation. I think he has drawn that one. If A is large, what would happen to this one? Psi of x comma 0. A is very large. Let me take A as very large. If A is very large, this height is low, isn't it? It will happen to be like this. One by root 2a. Somewhere here I have minus a plus a. A is very large. Now what is this one? This is ill-defined position. Am I right? So suppose if I have this kind of state, if I ask what is the position, you got range of position, range of possible position, isn't it? Your sigma x is high here. Is that okay? Now look at here. If A is large, then Ka is also large, isn't it? If Ka is large, can you plot this one? I think I have plotted sin x by x. I told you to plot that one, isn't it? Now you don't have any approximation. You have to plot that one. Sin x by x when x is very large, isn't it? Now look at here. A is large. That's why at 0, look at here. This height is very high. This is very higher one because a goes to the numerator. Am I right? So this is the value at k equal to 0. Are you getting my point? when k equal to 0, what would happen? Sine 0 by 0, that will become 1, and again its height at k equal to 0, that depends on this one. Is that okay? That's why it will be very high here. It will be very high here. Since a is large, ka is large, 1 by ka. 1 by ka will decide how fast it will decay actually. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? This 1 by ka, it will decide how fast it will decay. So just try to draw this one. It will be like this. You have well-defined momentum, isn't it? You don't have very range of momentum here. You have small range of momentum, possible momentum. Or k means momentum, h bar k is momentum, okay? Sigma p is low, and you don't have control over it. And that is the uncertainty. Now let me take, suppose pi of k is equal to some constant. Pi of k equal to some constant. Is that okay? Then what will be psi of x? But this is also not normalizable, okay? Once you define pi of k, mod pi of k square as probability of finding k, again total probability should be equal to 1. It should be also normalizable, but let me take it like this. What is psi of x comma 0? Some constant e power ikx into dk, am I right? Let me take this a outside. Let me take this a outside. Have you seen this one? So that's why I told you to note down that one. This is Dirac delta actually. A by root 2 pi, multiply and divide by 2 pi actually. You need 1 by 2 pi here. This is Dirac delta. Or you can say like this: Fourier transform of a constant is Dirac delta. Can I say like this? Are you getting my point? I'll take a constant, okay? Phi of k is equal to constant. And psi of x comma 0, it is a Fourier transform of this one. That's what you know, isn't it? So Fourier transform of a constant is Dirac delta. Look at here. Just check it out in that problem number 2.28. This is, you need 1 by 2 phi, okay, here into 2 phi. What is Fourier transform of Dirac delta? What is Fourier transform of Dirac delta? Suppose pi of k is equal to delta of k. What is psi of x comma 0? Speak up. Dirac delta will choose the function at k equal to 0. Isn't it? Now look at here. If you make momentum space wave function which is constant, that means you have wide range of momentum, your position state wave function, that will become Dirac delta, very well defined position. Isn't it? If you try to make momentum space wave function, very well defined momentum, suppose, your position space wave function become constant, ill defined. Okay, you can explain that one. And you remember that mathematical point also, okay? Fourier transform of constant is Dirac delta. Fourier transform of Dirac delta is constant. Is it clear? And you can understand uncertainty here. And in that problem, in this problem, he gave this one actually 2.2. Delta of x is equal to 1 by 2 phi. I can put 1 by root 2 phi also for convenience. This is a kind of Fourier transform of constant, look at it. Or you start with this one, okay? You start with this one. Or let me write in pure mathematical, okay? Suppose f of x is equal to delta of x. Is it okay? F of x equal to delta of x. What is f of s? 1 by root 2 phi. Let me take 1 by root 2 phi. What is this one? Delta of x into e power isx into dx. Integration with respect to dx. Delta of x. It will choose this function at x equal to 0. Isn't it? What is this one? 1 by root 2 phi. Can you write inverse Fourier transform? F of x should be equal to 1 by root 2 phi minus infinity to plus infinity. F of s into ds. Sorry, f of s into e power minus I sx into ds. Am I right? But in physics, one more negative sign is different here. Okay, that's quite different in physics part. But here again, I'm taking pure mathematical. What is this one? Quickly. F of x is equal to, that is your delta of x. Am I right? Delta of x is equal to 1 by root 2 phi. Again 1 by root 2 phi because of f of s minus infinity to plus infinity e power minus isx into, that formula is similar to this one, but one more negative sign is missing. So that's why you can say Fourier transform of Dirac delta is constant and Fourier transform of constant is Dirac delta. Forget about that multiplicative constant. Solve these problems.